You're listening to the P&W Sports Report. I'm Alec Pequignot with Bradley Walker. Real takes, real debates, no filter, live every week. Hit subscribe. Let's roll. Tonight on the show, we got our updated top 50 prospects, final trade deadline, fits and moves, and a new segment called Bradley's Rant of the Week. So why don't we get started with the first half of our prospects? At number 50, we have Rays catcher Dominic Keegan, and Bradley has the stats in front of him. He will tell everybody how these guys are doing in the minor leagues.
Yeah, bud, here, let me pull these up. So far, let's see here. I went down too far. Okay, let's see here. So in 2025, he is hitting 287. His on-base percentage is 394. His slugging percentage is 500. OPS is 894. 29 games, 108 at-bats, 19 runs, 31 hits, 8 doubles, 5 homers, 15 RBIs, 19 walks, 32 strikeouts, and no stolen bases so far for Mr. Keegan.
And he is the 4th or 5th ranked catching prospect in baseball. Obviously, number 1 is Samuel Basallo from the Orioles, which the Orioles, their broadcast could not stop talking about him on their when I was watching their game today. They're like, oh, he'll be up soon. And get this, before we get to number 49, tell me if this is a stat you've never heard before. The Orioles have used 6 different catchers this year. Because Adley Rutschman is on the injured list, Gary Sanchez is on the injured list, Chadwick Trump's on the injured list. I could keep going. Half of their 40-man roster that are catchers are on the injured list. You would think that would entail them calling up a guy like Samuel Basallo, but of course, as we know, all teams do it. They like to manipulate the service time.
Correct.
At number 49 is outfielder Connor Griffin from the Pirates. And here's Bradley with the stats for Mr. Connor Griffin.
Mr. Griffin is hitting 330. His OPS is 402, slugging 527. OPS 929, 74 games. He's had 300 at-bats. He's had 73 runs, 99 hits, 16 doubles, 2 triples, 13 home runs, 53 RBIs, 28 walks, 75 strikeouts, and he's got 40 stolen bases. Does that make any sense? Does that sound right? I don't know if that sounds right.
Yeah, that does. I mean, with the bigger bases now.
True. That's true. Okay.
And our first of 2 Cardinals in this portion of the rankings. At number 48 is Tekoa Roby, right-handed pitching prospect from the Cardinals.
He is currently 6-4 with a 3.34 ERA. He has pitched in 15 games, 15 starts. I lost my sheet there. Okay. He is, let's see, trying to get this right so I can read this correctly. 3.3 or 15. He's, let's see, what is that stat? Hang on a minute. I'm trying to think here, get this right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to make sure I read this correctly. I don't want to give out stats that are not correct. Okay, here we go back in here. All right, sorry. So let's see. 15 games he started. He is innings pitched. He's pitched 72 2/3. I think he's got 61 strikeouts so far. 61 strikeouts so far. Let's see, what else do I have here? This is what I don't. $18 walks, 81 strikeouts. He's giving up just an opponent batting average of 223, and his whip is 1.09.
Not too shabby.
Too shabby.
Then we go to the second Cardinals prospect in this iteration of the rankings. Number 47 in a Cardinals fans. If I butcher this, I'm sorry. Bedell? I believe that's how you say it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he is not doing so hot. He's 0-4 with an 8.91 ERA, 9 games started. He is got 34 and a third innings pitched, 45 hits, 9 homers, 17 walks, 35 strikeouts. He's giving up a 3.10 average, and his whip is 1.81.
Ouch.
Yeah. He needs to. Now he's in AAA Memphis, so he's currently in their AAA in their.
And I believe that is either the International League. Yeah, that's the International League, and that is not a league you want to be in. And if you're a pitcher,
no, not with stats like that.
Just no overall, because that's where all the hitting is in AAA. At number 46 is our first Guardians prospect, outfielder Chase DeLauter.
Chase DeLauter, he is currently hitting 246. His on-base percentage is 385, slugging 457. OPS is 842, 40 games, 140 at-bats, 26 runs, 37 hits. 7 doubles, 1 triple, 6 home runs, 21 RBIs, 28 walks, 27 strikeouts, and 1 stolen base.
The problem with DeLauter is he should have been up in the big leagues a couple of years ago, but like some of these prospects, he's another one that's just had trouble staying healthy.
Mm-hmm.
At number 45 is my personally, out of all the prospects we're going to talk about today, it is my favorite name, Tommy Troy, shortstop, second baseman, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Troy is hitting 288 with a on-base percentage of 391, slugging 460, OPS 851. He's played in 73 games, 285 at-bats, 47 runs, 82 hits, 17 doubles, 1 triple, 10 homers, 39 RBIs, 45 walks, 56 strikeouts, and 16 stolen bases.
And what level of the minor leagues is he at?
I think, buddy, he's in Double-A. So he's in Double-A at the moment. But I have a funny feeling with stats like that, I could see him moving up very soon to...
I could too, but the problem is we've talked about the Diamondbacks all year. Like Jordan Lawler, Tommy Troy's in the same situation. You move him up to if he ever does get to the big leagues within the next couple of years, he might have to be a platoon reserve infielder because you got Perdomo at short and you got Marte at second. I mean, unless he can learn third base, because I'm not gonna spoil it, but I don't think Eugenio Suarez will be on the Diamondbacks roster at the end of the year. That's a little teaser, everybody, for a segment coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, you might want to try him out at third then and see if he'll play third base.
Our first Padres prospect at number 44, catcher Ethan Salas. Brother of Andrew Salas, who is in the Marlins organization.
He's hitting 188. This is in Double-A, 188 on OP. His on-base percentage is 325. Slugging is 219. OPS 544. 10 games, 32 at-bats, 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 double, 5 RBIs, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks in triple.
Well, the kid, I think he's only 18 or 19. So he's got a lot of learning to do.
Well, to be in Double A at 18, that's pretty good too. Just to say that out loud, that's pretty. That's not too bad. So yeah.
No. At number 43, and Blue Jays fans, forgive me if I say this wrong. It is right-handed pitching prospect Trey Yesavage.
He is actually doing very well. He's 5-1 with a 3.19 ERA, 16 games started. He's pitched 67 and 2/3 innings, only given up 37 hits, 7 homers, 30 walks, 111 strikeouts. His opponent
That's ridiculous.
157, and his WHIP is .99. That's pretty good.
Blue Jays find a way to get this kid to the big leagues.
Yeah, you instead of going out and trading for a pitcher, maybe you should just promote your pitcher from the minors and let him come up and do what he's doing in the major league.
Well, I've seen some of his tape. He's got a really good fastball that gets really good carry in the zone. And then he's got this wipeout changeup slider combination that he'll use. He'll use his changeup to righties.
Oh, okay.
The thing starts in like the right-handed batter's box and it just bottoms out. And then he'll use his slider to lefties. So MLB fans, AL East,
beware.
Other AL East teams, get ready.
Beware, he's coming.
At number 42 is our second Pirates prospect, Tramar Johnson, shortstop, Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
for the Pirates.
He's currently in Double A as well. He's hitting .250. His on-base percentage is .333, slugging .384, OPS .717, 75 games, 276 at-bats, 42 runs, 69 hits, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 8 homers, 24 RBIs, 34 walks, 58 strikeouts, and he's got 12 stolen bases for the Pittsburgh Pirates in their minor league, which it says ATL. Is that Atlanta? Do they have a minor league team in Atlanta?
Oh, no. I believe that's Altoona.
Okay.
Altoona Curve. I do know my minor league teams, but that's one of them that the Pirates Double A, I think it's Altoona. I could be wrong. But number 41 is Aiden Miller, shortstop prospect for the Phillies. And before Brad gets to the stats, he is blocked currently by a guy that should be in the All-Star game, but isn't, and Trey Turner, which we can both rant about that toward the end of the show. That is going to be our ranting segment of the episode.
And I'll be going to, speaking of the Phillies, I'll be going to their single A game tomorrow night to watch the Threshers play Fort Myers tomorrow night after work. But Miller's currently hitting .238. His on-base percentage is .353, slugging .381. His OPS is .734, 64 games, 239 at-bats, 32 runs, 57 hits, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 7 hits, 21 RBIs, 40 walks, 73 strikeouts with 31 bases stolen. All right, Phillies, get him up there. But again, he's blocked by Trey Turner, so kind of hard.
I mean, if he can learn third base, I could see a lane for playing time there. I mean, Alec Bohm is good, but he's severely inconsistent. So I could see if he learns third base, maybe he's up quicker.
Yeah.
Or maybe they use him in a trade.
That could be true also. Yeah.
At number 40 is our first Mets prospect, Jonah Tung, right-handed pitcher. What a name. He
is also in Double A doing very well. He's 6-4. His ERA is 1.83. 15 games started. He's pitched 78 and 2/3 innings, only giving up 38 hits, 2 homers, 35 walks, 125 strikeouts. He's only giving up a batting average of 141, and his whip is .93. Not too bad for it.
No. And the Mets system, need I add, which they might need pitching because they're expected to get Frankie Montas back soon. Same with Manaea, same with Kodai Senga, but why not go to a 6 or 7 man rotation?
Exactly.
At number 39, we have left-handed Giants pitching prospect Carson Whisenhunt.
Hunt, yeah.
Whisenhunt.
Yeah, he's in AAA Sacramento for the Giants. He's 8-5 with a 4.50 ERA. Started 17 games. He's pitched 94 innings, 97 hits, 12 homers, 25 walks, 82 strikeouts, giving him a batting average of .272, and his whip is 1.33. Not too bad. Not too bad for AAA.
Not too shabby. Now we get to number 38, and it's our first of 2 Marlins prospects in this portion of the rankings, and that is left-handed pitching prospect Robbie Snelling.
He is in AA.
What can Snelling do for you?
Not having a very good at it so far. He's 3-5 with a 3.61 ERA. He's started 14 games, pitching 72 1/3 innings, 66 hits, 6 homers, 22 walks, 85 strikeouts, giving up an average of .238, and his whip is 1.22. Kind of okay. He could probably get a little bit better with that.
Yeah, he probably could. Number 37 is what can Mr. Noble Meyer do for you? Right-handed pitching prospect for, again, the Miami Marlins, which are littered with prospects.
Yeah, he's in high A ball and A+, 1-2 with a 5.09 ERA, 11 games started. He's pitched 40 2/3 innings, 35 hits, 3 homers, 21 walks, 49 strikeouts. His batting average is .229, giving up .229, and his whip is 1.38. Probably why he hasn't been moved up to AA yet. He's kind of struggling a little bit there in high A ball.
Our first Dodgers prospect at number 36, outfielder Zaire Hope.
He is also in the A+ system there in minors. He's hitting .295. His OPS or on base percentage is .395. Slugging .477, OPS .872. He's had 79 games, 285 at bats, 41 runs, 84 hits, 21 doubles, 2 triples, 9 homers, 54 RBIs, 45 walks, 88 strikeouts, and 12 stolen bases. That's not a bad resume.
No, it's not. But the problem is, again, he's with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers just have a king's ransom of outfielders.
Correct.
So, unfortunately, I think he's going to be one of the guys that gets moved to another organization. At number 35 is our first Rays prospect. And as you see so far, we have a lot of new guys in these rankings. And that would be shortstop Gregory Barrios. Barrios
or Barrios. My boss's last name is the same. He calls it Barrios, so I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but he's hitting .258. His on-base percentage is .313, slugging .303. OPS is .616, 39 games, 132 at-bats, 21 runs, 34 hits, 6 doubles, no triples, no homers, 17 RBIs, 8 walks, 17 strikeouts, but he has 16 stolen bases. And the Rays still lead the majors in stolen bases?
Yes.
Okay.
And our number 34 prospect, which wraps up the first batch of prospects, is Blue Jays shortstop prospect who might be traded, Arjun Nimala.
He is in high A ball. He's hitting .240. His on-base percentage is .324, slugging .420. OPS 744, 74 games. He's had 300 at-bats, 49 runs, 72 hits, 17 doubles, 2 triples, 11 homers, 36 RBIs, 35 walks, 73 strikeouts, and 6 stolen bases.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get to our final trade deadline fits and trade deadline trades on the show. And we have comprised a list of teams that we think are going to be in need of some help at the trade deadline. And we are going to start with Zach Gallen. And both of us have a list of 3 teams for all the guys we're going to talk about. And then the 4th team can be either a team that was on the list already or somebody that's not even on the list. And you're going to give us who they end up going to and what the package might look like. And we start with Diamondbacks pitcher Zach Gallen. And I'm going to start it off. The 3 teams I think that should be in the mix for him. One is the Red Sox, and I think it's kind of obvious. Walker Buehler's going to be out. The Red Sox are not out of the playoff race. I think they're like 2 or 3 games out of the wild card. So if they make a couple moves.
Big 4-game series against the Rays starting tonight. So
yeah. So the Red Sox are one, the Cubs, and then the Reds. And I think Zach Gallen, for me, ends up going to the Cubs. And the package is going to be, because he's a rental. So I think it's going to take 2 prospects. And the Cubs, I think they cough up their number 1 prospect in Owen Cassie because he's an outfielder. And same with James Triantos, who's an outfielder and a second baseman. Who are your 3 teams you had for Zach Gallen?
I had the Cubs, Yankees, and Blue Jays. But I agree with you, but I think it's going to be Chicago. And I think he goes for the package that you mentioned. I think I had that down as prospects. But these are all the teams that we were talking about all need pitching help. And he would definitely help. Now, could I see him going to Boston? Yes. Let's pray to God he doesn't go to the Yankees. So let's just say that. But anyway, moving on.
Next, we've got Gino Suarez from the Diamondbacks, third baseman. And the 3 teams I have him penciled in as to go to are the Yankees, the Tigers, and the Angels. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can laugh at me. The Angels are, I looked at it, they're not that far out of the last wild card. They're like 2.5, 3 games. Which both of us coming into the season, we said the Angels weren't going to be anywhere near the playoffs.
Correct.
Shows how much we know about the Angels. But I think he ends up going to the Yankees for a package that includes Spencer Jones and Ben Hess. Where do you have Mr. Suarez ending up?
The only difference, but I had other than what you had, Bud, was the Seattle Mariners for him. But again, unfortunately,
a reunion with the Mariners?
Yeah. Bring him. Yeah. The reason why is they said that they could address their need for their corner infielder and provide a much-needed boost to their offense. Again, we'll see. The only factor is he struggled with the team before, traded for salary reasons. That could be a factor. But I like the Angel thing because I just looked. The Angels are only 3 games out of the final wild card spot in the AL. So this would help boost them. And let's pray to God somehow, some way, Mike Trout gets to the playoffs before he retires. For God's sakes, let the man get to the season before he has to hang it up. And correct me if I'm wrong, and now correct me in the comments, guys, if I'm wrong and he's already made the postseason as an Angel.
I think he's made it once, but he hasn't won a playoff game. Because they got swept in, I think they made it a couple of years ago when the wild card first expanded to 3 teams, and they got swept. So next we go to the Marlins, and We start with Sandy Alcantara. And the three teams I have going after Alcantara, the Yankees, the Tigers, and surprisingly, the Cincinnati Reds. And my package for Louder is Connor Phillips, a pitching prospect for the Reds, and Rhett Louder. Because if you're going to trade for Alcantara, you got to think the Marlins are going to want a young, controllable arm or two back in the trade.
Right.
Who do you have? Who are your three teams for Alcantara? For Sandy?
I have, and not that they need any more help, but I have the Dodgers, the Astros, and the Orioles. Now I know, bear with me, I said Baltimore, and they're not good right now, but it could be one of those things.
Yeah, but he's got control, so Baltimore might be looking ahead the next year and say, we get Alcantara, because he's not a rental. He's got 2.5 years left on his contract.
Yeah, and that's what it says in my notes. That it says Baltimore Orioles, a wild card team to watch depending on their position in the race and willingness to part away with their prospects. But I would hate to say this, but possibly the Dodgers, who don't need any help. I don't know what they'll be giving up to get him, because
they might give up a guy we just talked about. They might give up Zaire Hope.
Okay.
Because the Marlins do need.
Yeah.
They do need help. Next one is another Marlin, and it's Kyle Stowers. And the three teams I have going after Kyle Stowers, and one of them, people are going to say, they don't need outfield help. I think they do. I've got the Reds, the Tigers, and the Rays. And I think the team that ends up with Kyle Stowers is the Rays, and the package is going to be Gary Gill-Hill and Colton Ledbetter. And the Rays have been linked to another guy we're going to talk about in a minute that's also on the Marlins, and Jesus Sanchez. I think they end up getting, like I just said, I think they end up getting Stowers, and they only have to give up Ledbetter and Gary Gill-Hill. Say that fast 3 times. What 3 teams do you have for Kyle Stowers?
I have the Rays also, but I have Houston and I have San Diego. Where Stowers could help the Astros is they can use him in left field and move Jose Altuve back to second base. This is where I think he would fit the most. Obviously, for Stowers, you're going to get prospects going. But I wouldn't, again, it would be great to see him in Tampa. But it looks like possibly he could be going to Houston with the Astros.
And the final Marlin we're going to talk about is another outfielder. It is Jesus Sanchez. 3 teams I have for him are the Yankees, the Astros, the Tigers. And I think the team that gets Mr. Sanchez is the Astros, and I think it's Jacob Melton and Spencer Arrighetti. Because another thing the Marlins are going to need is pitching. Because not only could Sandy be traded, they could also trade Edward Cabrera. Which, unless you're telling me that you're going to call up Robbie Snellington, that's one spot in the rotation that has been filled. So you would need another pitcher. And Arrighetti's just sitting there in Houston not being used as a starter. He's in the minors. Mm-hmm. Who do you have going after Jesus Sanchez?
I have the Twins, the Reds, and the Padres. And where I had him going, Bud, is the Reds. The trade would involve prospects like Typhoid, Tristan Smith, Zach Maxwell, and Adam Serwinski. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. Serwinowski. I'm not really sure. Right. I'm butchering that name, Reds fans. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that last name.
Then we get to the Brewers, and I would assume that's how you pronounce it, but I don't know. The only Brewer I could see getting traded, and I think you'll agree, is Freddie Peralta. And the three teams I have for him, the Rays, the Cubs, and the Yankees. And no, I don't think the Rays or the Cubs get him. I think, unfortunately, he ends up going to the Yankees. And I think the package is going to be the same thing that it was for that it would have been for the first for Suarez. I think it'll be Ben Hess and Spencer Jones. Those are the only two Yankees prospects I could see the Yankees maybe moving off of, because I would say Cam Slittler, but he just made his major league debut. And I would assume that even though Luis Hill's coming back, I would assume he did really good in his major league debut. I would assume that he's probably going to stick around. Who do you have going after Freddie Peralta?
The Twins, the Reds, and the Padres. Where I had him going, bud, was to the Twins for pitching prospect Dason Hill. If I'm pronouncing that name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Hill.
Dason Hill. Uh-huh.
We get to the Rockies, and the only player I mean, I could see them moving Ryan Big Man, but then again, does anybody really want to take that money? So the logical trade here would be Jake Bird. And the three teams I have going for Jake Bird are the Rays, the Reds, and the Yankees. And I think the Rays get him, and I think the package is going to be small. I think Cameron Meisner and Gary Gilhill go back the other way to the Rockies. And I'll say something before you get to yours. I think they could also trade a guy like Brenton Doyle. Because there's been some rumors circulating around the internet the last couple weeks that don't be surprised if the Rockies entertain the idea of trading Brenton Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could you see a package deal with Jake Bird and Brenton Doyle going to somebody?
Yes, I could.
Who are the three teams you have going after Mr. Jake Bird?
I have the Mets, Phillies, and Diamondbacks. Where I think he might end up is with the Mets, and they will be giving back Ronnie Mauricio, Drew Gilbert, or Mauricio, and Jack Winger. I think are the three that could possibly be in that trade from the Mets.
Could you see the Mets also asking for Brenton Doyle in that trade?
Possibly, because to me, it would make more sense for him to go to the Mets to help. And it's been rumored for the Phillies to replace Jordan Romano, who's struggling right now. So yeah, I could see, but Bird to me seems like he could be a good fit with the Mets.
Yeah, same. We get to the Nationals, and the only guy I can see getting moved from the Nationals. There's two guys. First one is Kyle Finnegan, reliever. Yankees, Tigers, Angels. And I think he goes to the Tigers for Bryce Renier and Ty Madden. And this is kind of self-explanatory. The Tigers do need a back end of the bullpen guy. I'm not going to say closer, because Will Vest has done fine in that role, and so has Tommy Kahnle, who seems to just be aging like fine wine. Not to knock on you, Mr. Kahnle, but you did really good in your two appearances against the Rays. And the package going. Oh wait, I already said that. Who do you have going after Kyle Finnegan?
Yankees, Mets, and Tigers. Again, none of these teams really need any help, but I could say Detroit. They are the best team in the majors. We all know that. And we all know that when it comes to as we get into the summer, when we get out of July, August and September, or July and August are the most important months of the season. July, August, and September. So You need pitching to win championships. We all know that. So I could see him going to Detroit. Obviously, you're going to have prospects or players to go back, but I could see him being a Tiger by the end of the year.
And then we've got reliever / starter Mike. Well, I don't know what he goes by now. He used to go by Mike Soroka. I've got the Tigers, the Mariners, and the Yankees. And again, I have him going to the Tigers for a package maybe centered around Ty Madden or Bryce Rainier. Because if you look at the Tigers prospect pool, they have too many arms, too many pitchers, and not all of them are going to make it to the majors with the Tigers. You got to think that, I mean, Soroka can be a spot starter and pitch out of the bullpen. Who are the 3 teams you have going after Mike Soroka?
I also, Bud, have the Tigers, Yankees, and the Reds going after Soroka. Again, just like the previous one, yeah, I think he goes to Detroit. I think he goes to Detroit. Pitching, you need pitchers down the stretch, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Now we get to the Pirates, and the Pirates have 2 interesting, dare I say, trade pieces. One being Mitch Keller, and the 3 teams going after Keller I have are the Reds, Yankees, and Astros. And I think the team that gets Mitch Keller, unfortunately, is the Astros for Jacob Melton and Jacob Melton and Bryce Matthews. Who do you have going after Mitch Keller? What 3 teams?
I have the Cubs, Mets, and Tigers. I could say the Mets, and then it would be parting ways with players like Ronnie Marcusio, Carson Benj, and along with other prospects, but I could see him being a New York Met.
And then the one that I don't think any Pirate fan wants to hear, O'Neal Cruz. 3 teams I have going after Cruz, the Mariners, Tigers, Astros. And I think he ends up with the Mariners for Harry Ford and Colt Emerson. And you could easily put him in right field because you've got a Rosa Rayner in left. And unless for some reason you want to move Julio Rodriguez to right field, which I don't think you would want to do that. So I would put O'Neal Cruz in right. Who are the 3 teams you have going after O'Neal Cruz?
Yankees, Mariners, and Red Sox. Now, this is maybe an off-the-wall trade. This is to the Yankees. Now, bear with me when I give you this trade. It includes Cruz, players like Ke'Bryan Hayes, David Bedard, in exchange for a package of top prospects. For instance, one trade involved Yankees acquiring Hayes, Bedard, and Cruz for top prospects, including Jason Dominguez as one of the prospects the Yankees would trade back to the Pirates for O'Neal Cruz. So, again, do the Yankees need another power bat in that lineup? No. But this is what happens when the rich get richer, in a way.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we go to the Braves, and this guy's been popping up in rumors the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Sean Murphy. And it's because a guy like Drake Baldwin has basically, dare I say, taken over as a starting catcher out of basically nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 teams I have going after Sean Murphy are the Tigers, Padres, Red Sox. And I think he ends up on the Padres for a guy in Boston Bateman and Cash Mayfield. So 2 pitching prospects. Who are the 3 teams you have going after Sean Murphy?
I have the hometown Rays, the Giants, and the Yankees as well. No, not the Yankees. They don't need a catcher. I only had 2 for Murphy. I'm sorry. I only had the Rays and the Giants. But the thing about the Rays, and I know we talked about one of their catching prospects in our prospect talk. That is one position that the Rays have never grew in the minor league system. They've always had to trade for a catcher. They've always had, whatever. They've never built one. And I know Murphy's not a prospect. There are prospects that the Rays have now that they're grooming to come up to play, in Tampa. But I could see him possibly going to the Rays. I know they have Danny Jansen, but this could be another guy that could be a backup. Because who's behind Danny Jansen right now catching for the Rays?
Matt Thaiss.
Yeah, I could see Murphy would be an upgrade. So I could see him going to the Rays.
What would a package look like for him going to the Rays? Like who would the Rays have to?
They're going to have to give up. I mean, maybe they're going to give up one of their catching prospects in exchange for a catcher. That's the good thing about the Rays is they have prospects.
Well, Keegan's not their only catching prospect. They have another one, and I think Flewelling.
Okay,
but he's further out. Keegan, I think, is supposed to be up next year.
See, if the trade is done, but I could see them. But see, then if you're the Rays, why would you? That hypothetically, yeah, I would see him going and Murphy coming to the Rays, but that would be dumb, I think.
And the problem is Murphy's still under contract for I think 3 or 4 more seasons, and he's making a lot of money.
Yeah, that could hamper the Rays. Too.
Who was your other one? The Giants?
The Giants, yeah.
I mean, that might work. Him and change the scenery for Patrick Bailey.
And you have, the former catcher himself, Buster Posey. So I'm sure he wouldn't mind having another catcher out there to help the Giants. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get to the Cardinals, and the first trade I have is Nolan Arenado, and I can only think of 2 teams to go after Arenado. It's the Tigers and the Reds. And I think the Tigers, which makes the most sense, I think they make the big move here, and they go get Arenado, and they give a package centered around Jose Briseño, Ty Madden, and maybe, and I know Tigers fans don't want to hear this, Max Clark. To get a guy like Nolan Arenado, even though he's on the wrong side of 30, and I hate to say that, Cardinals fans, because he has been playing good, you're still going to have to cough up a good prospect. Mm-hmm. Whether it be McGonigal, whether it be Clark, whether it be Briseño. Who are the 2 teams you had going after Nolan Arenado?
I also had the Tigers. I also had the Yankees and the Dodgers as well. I hate to say this, but he would be best in LA with Mac Muncy's injury. Again, Arenado has a no trade clause. So he's not going to go to some place that he knows he's not going to win. And it would be a change of scenery, him leaving St. Louis to go to LA. And I'm not saying that the Dodgers are going to win the World Series, even if he plays for them or doesn't. But I think he's got a better chance. But as for that would be my National League. For American League, it's got to be the Tigers. It makes most sense, but for him to go there, he adds veteran experience to that roster. And who doesn't want to have a, third base, hitting a guy that can hit?
Yeah.
He would fit very, very well in Detroit too.
The next pair of Cardinals is Sonny Gray. And the 3 teams I have going after Sonny Gray are the Rays, the Rays, the Reds, and the Yankees. And I think he ends up going to where do they say? Sonny Gray ends up going to the Rays for Gary Gilhill and not Chandler Simpson. There is another Simpson in the Rays system, Will Simpson. Who do you have going after Sonny Gray?
I have the Reds, Mets, and Astros. Um, you know what? I would love to see him go to Cincinnati. I think he helped Tito Francona and company there. And I
Well,
think
it's a reunion because he used to pitch for the Reds.
I was gonna say it says in my notes that he it would be a reunion for him under new management. So I could see that. I could see him going to the Reds. Obviously, prospects would be involved, but I could see him possibly be returning to Cincinnati to pitch for Tito Francona.
And then for Sonny Gray, the three teams Eric Fetty, the three teams I had are the Yankees, the Rays, and the Tigers. And I have Eric Fetty going to the Yankees for Ben Hess and Spencer Jones. And who do you have going after Eric Fetty?
I have the Dodgers, Guardians, and the Red Sox. I think where he would fit the best in that equation, well, I could be a homer and say the Red Sox. I think best, and this might be a long shot, but I think best in Cleveland. I know that they're not on top of the AL Central this year, but they're right in the thick of it. Where are they at in the standings? How far are they out of first place? They are, let's see, hang on a second.
I think they're 14 out of first place.
They're 14 and a half. They're actually in fourth place. They're behind the Royals and the Twins.
Well, look at the wild card.
They are how many out of the wild card?
Because I don't think
4.5.
Yeah, so they got a better chance at the wild
spot.
card.
Yeah. I mean, feed would help them obviously get closer to that mark. But it's hard when you have, like I said, I had the Sox and the Dodgers too. It's hard when you have teams like that who also need pitching help. So
yeah,
we'll see how that.
And the last Cardinal I have getting moved is in Cardinals fans. I don't think you want to hear this. And it's outfielder Lars Nootbaar. And the three teams I have going after Nootbaar are the Reds, the Rays, the Blue Jays. Simple as that. And the team I have getting Lars Nootbaar is the Rays, and I have the return being Gary Gill Hill and Will Simpson. Who are the three teams you have going after Lars Nootbaar?
I had two. I have the Royals and the Astros, and the Royals are only 3 games out of the wild card spot. He would help in their offense with their power. I'm not sure, Bud, though, who they would give back, who the Royals would be willing to part with to bring him in.
I could see Carter Jensen. I could see maybe Gavin Cross.
Okay.
Yeah, now we get over to the American League, and we start with the Red Sox. Jarren Duran, outfielder. 3 teams I have going up to Duran: Padres, Astros, Tigers. And I have the Padres, unfortunately, getting Mr. Duran. And the package is quite appetizing. I have him the Padres giving up Cash Mayfield. And the guy we're going to talk about in a little bit, Leo DeVries. I think the Padres will have to get Duran because he's not going to be a free agent until I think 2027.
Yeah, I think he's still got 2 more years left on his current deal.
So the only thing with DeVries is if he comes up, I don't know where you play him because obviously Meyer's probably going to be third base. Christian Campbell's probably going to be at second when they call him back up. I mean, Trevor Story, I think is how many years does Story have left? 2?
Yeah, I believe so. Mm-hmm.
So then maybe he can still play short because he's a shortstop. But who are the 3 teams you have going after Jarren Duran?
I have the Padres, Phillies, and the Giants as well. But I think the best scenario, Bud, was what you mentioned, the trade package. I think he joins I don't know if he was on the team when Xander Bogaerts was with the Red Sox or not, but to join his former Red Sox player in San Diego with the Padres.
Okay. Then we get to Aroldis Chapman, who's turned back the clock with the Red Sox. And the three teams I have going after Chapman are the Reds, the Tigers, and the A's. Because I think the A's are going to do a little bit of buying and selling at the deadline. But I think he ends up back in Cincinnati. And the package is Rhett Lauder and Cam Collier. Who are the three teams you have going after Mr. Chapman?
I have the Phillies, Cubs, and Yankees. And I know he's pitched for two of those teams already in Cincinnati and New York. I see him going to Philadelphia. If he leaves Boston, I can see him going to the Philadelphia Phillies. They've struggled this year with saves. Obviously, I'm sure the Phillies would want a current pitcher and a pitching prospect back for Chapman. Maybe, something along those lines, because you're going to need, if you give up, the Red Sox are going to will have to get a closer back. So I would say somewhere in a closing pitcher or a starter for Chapman.
Do you think if he goes to the Phillies, do you think the Red Sox could potentially ask the Phillies for a former USF pitcher in Orion Kerkering back in return?
Oh yeah. The Red Sox are going to ask if you're going to give up your closing pitcher, they're going to want something back for Chapman. Yeah, absolutely.
We get to the Rangers, and the one guy I could see getting moved from the Rangers, and we talked about him before the show. It was Jacob deGrom, and I have the Tigers, the Reds, and the Mets. And I think he ends up back on the Mets because there's been talks that him and another guy we're going to talk about in a second the Mets are open to having a reunion with these two guys. But the package for deGrom to go to the Mets, going back the other way, is Drew Gilbert. I know Mets fans don't want to give him up, but you have to give up somebody to get somebody. And Blade Tidwell, who has been in the major leagues once or twice this year. Who are the three teams you have going after Mr. deGrom?
I have the Dodgers, Yankees, and are you ready for this, fans? The Mets in a return to New York. They traded him away, but I could definitely see the Mets bringing him back.
Okay.
I don't know who the Mets would give up to get him, but I could see Steve Cohen, obviously, who has a empty pocketbook, or not an empty pocketbook, but a bottomless pocketbook, to bring deGrom back.
Just ask Juan Soto.
Yeah, who didn't make the All-Star team? Can someone tell me how that didn't happen?
Well, we're going to rant about that in a little bit, so stick around, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, I could see him possibly, Bud, returning to the Big Apple to little brother with the Mets, as they call it in New York, little brother.
Now we get to the A's, and I have a package. I have Luis Severino, starting pitcher, and outfielder J.J. Bleday, and the three teams that I think should be interested in the two of them, the Tigers, the Reds, and the Mets. Here we go again, the Mets.
The Mets.
And I think the Mets end up getting him for Jonah Tong and Blade Tidwell. Yes, okay. Mets fans, I know you don't want to give up either of those pitching prospects, but like we said a minute ago, you have to give up something to acquire something. Who are the three teams you have going after in a package deal? Luis Severino and J.J. Bleday.
Let me see. You said that these would be the A's players, but is that what we're looking at right now?
Yes. And there's only two of them.
There we go. Okay.
And I packaged them together. So
okay. For Severino, let's see if these are common with the two. Yeah, I have I think I have the same. Yeah, I have the Mets as well. So I'm just gonna say the Mets. I have the Mets on my. I have the Mets. I have the Mets and the Dodgers. So I'll go with you, but send them to the Big Apple. I'm gonna go pitch in blue and orange for the Mets. Or yeah, I mean, I don't think they're both pitchers, right? Um,
No,
yeah,
Bleday's an
Sereno is
outfielder.
right. Yeah.
Severino is, yes. So then we get to the Orioles, and first two people, I have them in a package deal. I have it's Cedric Mullins and Zach
Okay.
Eflin, and the three teams that I think should be interested in both of them are the Yankees, the Phillies, and the Tigers. And I have both of them, shockingly, going to the Phillies for Otto Kemp and a guy that just missed out on our prospect rankings, Mick Abold. Who do you have those two guys
I do.
going to?
No, I have same thing, but that's who I had him going to, and I remember hearing, yeah, the prospects that you mentioned. I could see that going back to the O's from Philadelphia.
We got Ryan O'Hearn, first baseman, outfielder, next. And the three teams I have for him are the Padres, the Rays, and the Tigers. And I could see him going to the Rays for a package that would include Gary Gil-Hill and maybe a guy we just ranked in our prospect rankings, Gregory Barrios. Who are the three teams you have for Mr. Ryan O'Hearn?
I have him, the Red Sox and the Mariners. I mean, I would love to say the Red Sox, but I would think he would fit well in Seattle. He would help protect Cal Raleigh, who obviously could be the AL MVP by the end of the season. But I would see him possibly going out there. Seattle would, of course, want prospects and players in return, but I think it would help
You mean
him protect.
Baltimore?
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, Baltimore. In return with Seattle, and I think he'd help out Seattle very well with the Mariners.
Then we get to the Twins and the two guys that we have them training. The first one is a guy that I just wish he could stay healthy. Both of these guys, I wish they could stay healthy for a whole year. First one is third baseman Royce Lewis. And the two teams I have going after Royce Lewis are the Tigers and the Yankees. And yes, I said Arenado to the Tigers. I'm going to say Royce Lewis to the Yankees for Ben Hess and Spencer Jones. There's that same package again. And I think it might take even less to get a guy like Royce Lewis because he hasn't stayed healthy. He hasn't been able to prove himself. Who are the two teams you have going after Royce Lewis?
The Yankees, Giants, and Dodgers. And I could see him going to New York. I could see Lane, Schiffer, and Pariza going back from the Yankees
Peraza
to the Twins in exchange.
Okay. And then the last one for the Twins is Byron Buxton. And I have the Padres, Phillies, and Tigers going after him. And I think he goes to the Padres for Cash Mayfield. Because again, like we said, the Padres have way too many pitching prospects. And there's no way all of them are going to make it to the big leagues. So they got to give somebody
Correct.
up to get Byron Buxton. Who are the three teams you have going after Byron Buxton?
The Phillies, Reds, and Royals. And I like the Royals for Cole Reagans and David Shields as a possible trade package back to the Twins.
I mean, could you also, I know he's hurt right now. Could you see Pablo Lopez being moved maybe from the Twins also?
Possibly, but yeah. I think when it all comes down to it, the Twins started off the season bad and they had that 17-game winning streak. That's come to a close. Possibly Baldelli could be handed his pink slip at the end of the season.
Well, I want to congratulate him, though. The other day, he won his 500th He got his
Congratulations.
500 managerial win.
Congratulations to Rocco. He's a
Yes.
local boy from Tampa. Played for the Rays, so we know him down here in
And
Tampa.
well, before we get to the Angels, the Rays did make a trade earlier today,
They did,
acquiring a guy that I went to college with at University of North Florida, Brian Baker, for a competitive balance round pick. So welcome to Tampa, Brian Baker. And he's also from the state of Florida. So he's
home.
Welcome home, Brian. Now we get to the Angels. And we have two names for the Angels. The first one is outfielder Taylor Ward. I have the Astros, Tigers, and Yankees. And I think, again, I think he's going to the Yankees because they do need help in center field. And I think you could easily put Taylor Ward in center field. And the package, again, I know it's a boring package. Ben Hess and Spencer Jones. But those are again. I know the Yankees might say, no, Ben Hess is off limits. Then I could see Cam Schnittler, and I know I'm saying that wrong, but that's the only other pitching prospect I could see the Yankees parting with.
Yes.
Is that who you have Taylor Ward going to?
I do too, bud. Yep. I have that exact trade package. I hate to say that, but yes, it's the Yankees.
And then the last one is third baseman Yohan Moncada. And the Tigers, my three teams are the Tigers, the Dodgers, and the Astros. And I waited till the very end. I have him going to the Dodgers for Justin Robleski and a guy we just ranked. And our prospect rankings in Zaire Hope. And who is...
I like that. I like that trade package too, bud. I have the same teams you did. But I like the trade. I like that trade package that you just mentioned.
Okay. And we will get to the second half of our rankings here in a second. Once my computer decides to not make me go through this thing for the 1000th time. Oh. Come on, computer. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now, here we are. Prospects 33 through 1. We started number 33 with shortstop / third baseman prospect Sebastian Walcott. And I just realized that that's probably not going to work. Go ahead and tell everybody the stats on Sebastian Walcott.
He's hitting .239 with an on-base percentage of .339, slugging .375, on base, or his OPS is .714, 76 games, 293 at bats, 43 runs, 70 hits, 16 doubles, no triples, 8 homers, 36 RBIs, 43 walks, 74 strikeouts, 19 stolen bases, and he's currently in Double-A at the moment.
At number 32 is Rays outfield prospect Theo Gillen, the second Rays prospect we have talked about today. As you can see, we have a few more that we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Yeah, he's currently in A-ball and he's hitting .277. His on-base percentage is .446, slugging .407, OPS .853. 52 games, 177 at-bats, 48 runs, 48 runs, 49 hits, 6 doubles, 1 triple, 5 homers, 13 RBIs, 50 walks, 56 strikeouts, and 28 stolen bases. They must just like to steal bases in Tampa. They got minor leaguers that are having good stats with stealing bases too. So yeah.
We get the prospect number 31, left-handed pitching prospect Hunter Barco with the Pirates, the third Pirates prospect we have talked about. And believe me, yes, Bubba Chandler is on this list. He's in the top 10. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say exactly where, but he is on this list. Don't worry.
He is 3-1 with a 1.85 ERA, 15 games started. He's pitched 63 in the third innings, 36 hits, only 2 homers, 28 walks, 81 strikeouts. His opposing batting average is 164, and his whip is 1.01. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's very good.
At number 30 is our first Reds prospect, second baseman / third baseman Sal Stewart.
Yeah, he is hitting 308. His
he is raking.
Yep. He on base range is 380, slugging 479. His OPS is 859. 78 games, 280.
That's ridiculous.
50 runs, 88 hits, 19 doubles, no triples, 10 homers, 44 RBIs, 27 walks, 50 strikeouts, 13 stolen bases. He is currently in Double-A. Yeah, that's raking, boys and girls. In Double-A, you're hitting 308. That's raking. That's raking.
Yeah.
Yes.
The number 29 prospect in our rankings is Lazaro Monteros, outfielder, Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, he's currently hitting 273. His on-base percentage is 393, slugging 586. His OPS is 979. 80 games, 297 at-bats, 53 runs, 81 hits, 13 doubles, 7 triples, 22 homers, 60 RBIs, 59 walks, 97 strikeouts, 4 stolen bases. Wow, he's done it all this year. That's a lot of stats.
Did I hear that right? 97 strikeouts.
97 strikeouts. Yes, 97 strikeouts. You did hear that correctly.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of RBIs, but he also has a lot of strikeouts. So he's done both.
Number 28 prospect is right-handed pitching prospect George Klassen from the Angels.
Yeah, Klassen is struggling currently. He's in Double-A. He's 2-7 with a 6.49 ERA, 14 games started. He's pitched 52 and 2/3 innings, 58 hits, 6 homers, 25 walks, 66 strikeouts. He's giving up an opposing batting average of 276 with a whip of 1.58. Yeah, not too good right now with a 2-7 record.
No. Number 27 is Kevin McGonigal, second baseman, Detroit Tigers, second base prospect.
Yeah, the word raking should be along with this guy as well. He is currently hitting 355 with a on-base percentage of 446, slugging 608. His on-base percentage is 1.054, 43 games, 166 at-bats, 39 runs, 59 hits, 21 doubles, no triples, 7 homers, 39 RBIs, 26 walks, 20 strikeouts, and 3 stolen bases. Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Uh-huh. That it is. And
he just got promoted to Double-A, if I
correct.
am not.
That's correct. That bud, yep.
It was him, Jose Briseño, and Max Clark all got promoted to Double-A. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
Number 26 is a guy that was not ranked in our prospect rankings last time, and it's Owen Cassie of the Cubs outfielder.
Yeah, he's off to a good start. He's hitting 282. His on-base percentage is 388, slugging 575. On base is 960. His OPS is 963. 71 games, 266 at bats, 54 runs, 75 hits, 20 doubles, 2 triples, 18 home runs, 41 RBIs, 43 walks, 94 strikeouts, and 3 stolen bases. He is currently in AAA in Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's who they're.
Yes, that
AAA.
is their AAA affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
Number 25 prospect is a guy that moves up from. He was in the lower half of our prospect rankings last time. It is Hagen Smith, left-handed pitching prospect, Chicago White Sox.
And he's done very well. He's in AA. He's 2-0 with a 2.70 ERA. He's had 9 starts. He's pitched 30 innings, 13 hits, 2 homers, 23 walks, 50 strikeouts. He's giving up an opponent batting average of 1.34, and his whip is 1.20.
Number 24 prospect, making his debut on our prospect rankings, left-handed pitching prospect from the Braves, Cam Caminetti.
Cam is not doing very well. 0-2 so far, 4.78 ERA. Started 9 games. He's pitched 32 innings, 33 hits, 5 homers, 10 walks, 43 strikeouts, giving up an opposing batting average of 2.64, and his whip is 1.34.
Our number 23 prospect, also making his debut in our prospect rankings, is first baseman and outfielder from the Rockies, Charlie Condon.
And Charlie's off to a good start. He's almost at 300, hitting 298. His on-base percentage is 404. Same with the slugging, 404. His OPS is 808. 51 games, 188 at-bats, 32 runs, 56 hits, 11 doubles, 3 homers, 27 RBIs, 29 walks, 56 strikeouts, and 1 stolen base. I don't know if he's in AA. It just says 3 teams. I'm not sure if he's in AA or if he's moved up to AAA. I'm not 100% sure.
Our number 22 prospect is Orioles catcher / first baseman Samuel Basayo.
Basayo is in AAA. He's hitting 263. His on-base percentage 384. Slugging 572. His OPS is 956. 58 games, 194 at-bats, 38 runs, 51 hits, 9 doubles, 17 home runs, 42 RBIs, 37 walks, 51 strikeouts, and no stolen bases.
Number 21 is our third Rays prospect in infielder Braden Taylor.
He is in AA Montgomery with the Biscuits, hitting 160, on-base percentage 270, slugging 262. His OPS is 532, 64 games, 225 at-bats, 24 runs, 36 hits, 9 doubles, 1 triple, 4 homers, 25 RBIs, 35 walks, 78 strikeouts, and 6 stolen bases for the Biscuits.
As you said, it seems like the Rays really like to steal bases.
They must have gotten, they got away from the pitching this year and went to stolen bases. So there you go. They're good at something every year, so you got to give them credit somewhere.
Our number 20 prospect is left-handed pitching prospect and the 5th, I believe, Pirates prospect we've talked about today, Anthony Solomado.
He is 1-0 in his 3 starts with a 2.53 ERA. He's pitched 10 and 2/3 innings, only given up 4 hits, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. He's only giving up a opposing batting average of 114, and his whip is 0.84. Very well. Very good.
Ridiculous.
So far.
Our number 19 prospect is Marlins first base / third base prospect, De Los Angeles.
De Los Angeles is hitting 240. His on-base percentage is 308, slugging 382. His OPS is 690, 58 games, 217 at-bats. He has 28 hits, 52 runs. He has 5 doubles, 1 triple, 8 homers, 30 RBIs, 22 walks, 64 strikeouts, and 5 stolen bases.
Our number 18 prospect is the second Dodgers prospect we've talked about today. Left-handed pitching prospect Jackson Faris.
He is currently in Double A. He's 4-5 in his 13 starts with a 5.54 ERA. He's pitched 66 and 2/3 innings, 65 hits, 6 homers, 39 walks, 75 strikeouts, giving up an opponent batting average of 253. His WHIP is 1.53.
Our number 17 prospect making his debut. He was not ranked in our prospect ratings before that we did a couple months ago. It is catching prospect from the Royals, Blake Mitchell.
Mitchell is currently hitting 250. His on-base percentage 442, slugging 406. His OPS is 848. 12 games, 32 at-bats, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 doubles, no triples, 1 homer, 7 RBIs, 8 walks, 12 strikeouts, and 3 stolen bases.
Our number 16 prospect is the first of 2 Twins outfield prospects, Emmanuel Rodriguez.
Rodriguez is hitting 269. His on-base percentage is 424, slugging 429. His OPS is 853. 48 games, 156 at-bats, 28 runs, 42 hits, 8 doubles, 1 triple, 5 homers, 23 RBIs, 39 walks, 66 strikeouts, and 6 stolen bases.
Our number 15 prospect is the 4th Rays prospect we have talked about, Trey Morgan, first baseman and outfielder.
He is currently in AAA Durham with the Bulls, hitting 283. His on-base percentage 431, slugging 355, on-base OPS 786, 39 games, 138 at-bats, 27 runs, 39 hits, 7 doubles, 1 homer, 16 RBIs, 32 walks, 39 strikeouts, and he didn't get the memo. He only has 2 stolen bases. He didn't get the memo. He must have forgot to get the memo, but yeah, he only has 2 stolen bases so far this year.
Our number 14 prospect is another Met, the 3rd Met we've talked about today, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Nolan, right-handed pitching prospect, Nolan McLean. Used to be a 2-way player like Shohei Ohtani, but it seems he's stuck to the pitching side of it.
Yeah, he's started 13 games. He's 6-5 with a 2.33 ERA. He's pitched 81 innings, 61 hits, 5 homers, 35 walks, 85 strikeouts. Opposing batting average 208. His WHIP is 1.19.
Our number 13 prospect is Cardinals left-handed pitching prospect, Quinn Matthews.
Quinn is in 12 games. He's 2-3 with a 4.32 ERA, 41 2/3 innings pitched, 32 hits, 2 homers, 37 walks, 46 strikeouts. Opposing batting average 2.21 with a WHIP of 1.66. Those walks, that's kind of high. 37 walks is high.
Yeah. Our number 11 prospect is Giants first base prospect Bryce Eldridge.
Okay. Why do I have a... That's weird. I must have done something wrong here because I have pitching stats for him. That's not right. That's not right. Okay. Sorry, but I don't have stats for him. I don't know why, unless I copied the wrong thing down, but yeah, I have pitching stats for him, and he's not a pitcher, he's a first baseman. So I'm not sure where he's at.
That is all good. We can go ahead and look it up.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me look it up real quick on MLB and see let's see here. Let me see what his stats are. Go back up here. Bryce Eldridge. How in the world did I do that? Must have got ahead of myself. Here we go. Yeah, he is currently
in AAA, I believe.
Yeah, AAA. Okay, here we go. He is hitting 260, 263. His he's at 186 at bats, 10 homers, 33 RBIs. His OPS is 813. I don't have any other stats than that for Mr. Eldridge.
That's fine. Number 11 prospect is the second Phillies prospect of 3 that we're going to talk about. Right-handed pitching prospect, Andrew Painter.
Painter has had 15 starts. He's 3-4 with a 4.79 ERA, 62 innings pitched, 64 hits allowed, 11 homers, 21 walks, 67 strikeouts, 2.62 opposing batting average, and his whip is 1.37.
Our number 10 prospect is another Philly, and the last name should sound familiar. It is outfield prospect Justin Crawford from the Philadelphia Phillies.
And Crawford is currently in Lehigh Valley, AAA, for the Phillies, and he's raking, hitting 340, his on-base percentage 413, slugging 447, OPS 860, 69 games, 282 at-bats, 54 runs, 96 hits, 18 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers, 29 RBIs, 36 walks, 56 strikeouts, and 27 stolen bases. That's a complete player.
Hey, Phillies. Why trade for an outfielder?
You got one in the minors that could.
We got one sitting in AAA.
Exactly.
Our number 9 prospect is the first Astros prospect we've talked about today, Bryce Matthews, third baseman / shortstop.
Yeah, he's currently hitting 283 in AAA. He has an on-base percentage of 402, slugging 479. His OPS is 881, 72 games, 265 at-bats, 51 runs, 75 hits, 12 doubles, 5 triples, 10 homers, 39 RBIs, 50 walks, 96 strikeouts, and 24 stolen bases. And that's another all-the-way-around player.
Yes. Our number 8 prospect is our third Tigers prospect we talked about today, and it is outfielder Max Clark.
Clark is hitting 283 with an OPS of 402, slugging 479, OPS 881. He's had 72 games in AAA, 265 at-bats, 51 runs, 75 hits, 12 doubles, 5 triples, 10 homers, 39 RBIs, 50 walks, 96 strikeouts, and 24 stolen bases.
AAA? I thought he was in AA.
It says AAA on here, but from the stats I got, yeah. Did he get promoted?
Okay, so he must have been promoted, and I must not have heard about it. I would say he's still, I'm not going to say buried, but he's still behind a few people before getting called up.
Yes.
Number 7 prospect is our 6th Marlins prospect we've talked about today, I believe. Am I correct or wrong on that?
You're correct.
It is left-handed pitching prospect Thomas White.
Thomas White is 2-2 in his 12 starts. He's at a 2.66 ERA. He's pitched 47 1/3 innings, 30 hits, no homers, 25 walks, 69 strikeouts. He's only giving up a batting average of 1.79. His whip is 1.16.
Wow. Our number 6 prospect is the first Red Sox prospect we talked about today. Second baseman / shortstop, Franklin Arias.
Arias is hitting 302, on base percentage 353, slugging 419.
Breaking.
Oh, yeah. OPS 772, 70 games, 291 at-bats, 36 runs, 88 hits, 20 doubles, 1 triple, 4 homers, 41 RBIs, 20 walks, 30 strikeouts, and 9 stolen bases. Let's go, Red Sox.
Well, we look at the White Sox, and this is the 6th, I believe, prospect we've talked about for the White Sox as well.
Correct.
Left-handed pitching prospect Noah Schultz.
Noah Schultz is doing okay. He's had 15 starts. He's 4-4 with a 4.76 ERA, 68 total innings pitched, 72 hits, 6 homers, 44 walks. Ooh, that's high. 71 strikeouts. He's giving up an opponent batting average at 2.85. His whip is 1.71.
Number 4 prospect is Padres shortstop prospect Leo DeVries.
DeVries is hitting 244. His on-base percentage 358, slugging 403. His OPS is 761. 69 games, 258 at-bats, 39 runs, 63 hits, 15 doubles, 4 triples, 6 home runs, 39 RBIs, 45 walks, 62 strikeouts, 6 stolen bases, and it says that he's currently in high A ball for the Padres.
Our number 3 prospect in the 7th. Jeez, that's a lot of prospects to talk about in one episode. 7th Pirates prospect, right-handed pitching prospect Bubba Chandler.
Chandler is 3-2 in his 17 starts. He's got a 3.07 ERA. He's pitched 67 and a third innings, 53 hits, 3 homers, 35 walks, 86 strikeouts, opposing batting average 215, and his whip is 131.
Our number 2 prospect is the 6th Rays prospect we've talked about today. Another team that has a lot of prospects.
Mm-hmm.
And it's shortstop prospect Carson Williams,
who's currently in Durham with the Bulls. He's hitting 214, on-base percentage 323, slugging 438, OPS 761, 78 games, 276 at-bats, 52 runs, 59 hits, 11 doubles, 3 triples, 15 homers, 41 RBIs, 41 walks, 114 strikeouts. Holy moly donut shop. And he had 17 stolen bases. See, he got the memo about the stolen bases. He just needs to lay off the strikeouts.
How many stolen bases?
17 so far in AAA.
And 12 home runs?
12 homers, yeah. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, well, I mean, that might be is that just AAA, 104 strikeouts?
114 is just AAA, yep. He had 144 strikeouts last year.
Oh, Carson. Go take some hitting lessons from Yandy Diaz.
Are you ready for this? In the 5 teams he's played for, he has a total of 597 strikeouts. He's 3 away from getting to 600 in his career. That's a lot of strikeouts.
Is Yandy Diaz on speed dial?
Yeah, call him up.
Call him up. Not saying send him down, but call him up and have him go over some patiency lessons at the plate with Carson Williams and Braden Taylor.
Correct.
They got the memo on the stolen bases, though.
Yes.
Keep running. Less strikeouts, though, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just don't strike out. You can run bases and steal bases. Just
And our number 1 prospect is Twins outfield prospect Walker Jenkins.
Walker Jenkins is hitting 278 with an OPS of 426, slugging 402, on-base percentage 828, 28 games, 97 at-bats, 21 runs, 27 hits, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 12 RBIs, 23 walks, 23 strikeouts, 9 stolen bases for the. He doesn't tell me if he's in AAA or anything like that, but
I think he's in AA or high A ball.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, here are the 4 guys that just missed out on our rankings. Left-handed pitching prospect for the Padres, Boston Bateman at number 54. At number 53 was Mets pitching prospect right-hander Brandon Sproat. 52 was Xavier Isaac, first base prospect for the Rays. And 51 was outfield prospect from the Yankees, Spencer Jones. And that wraps up our prospect rankings. We got one more segment left. And I think it's supposed to be Walker's rant of the day, but it's going to be Walker and Peckino's rant of the day. And it's about the All-Star game. Bradley, have at it. You go first.
Well, first of all, number one, obviously there are players that missed. I was happy to see that Junior Caminero was added because I think someone dropped out. So he is now on the AL All-Star team. Go AL, by the way, pulling for the American League. I'm an American League guy, so always pull for the American League. My rant about it is there have been talks that they want to bring back who wins gets to host the world, gets to start the World Series. Now, trust me, as a Red Sox fan, I appreciated that in 04 because we swept the Cardinals. I don't know if we would have swept the Cardinals if the series would have started in St. Louis. But anyway, it is what it is. I hope they don't bring that back. I think that they need to make the All-Star game a little bit more meaningful in some way, shape, or form. But right now, MLB, just leave it where it's at. Don't change anything. It would be kind of cool if they could somehow draw more big bats to the home run derby, but I know why guys don't do that. I know on local radio they were talking about Randy Arozarena when I think he was with the Rays. He struggled after the home run derby in the second half of the season. So sometimes that changes their swings.
Yeah, and Junior Caminero is also going to be in the home run derby. So
yes. So that's my rant about the All-Star game.
Here's my rant. Why does, and I was talking with somebody else about it. Why has the All-Star game all of a sudden become a popularity contest? Like, you're going to tell me that the Yankee Judge does? I don't think Judge got in. Volpe,
I don't believe so.
Wells didn't get in from the Yankees. Max Fried did. But then you go to the Blue Jays. George Springer didn't get in, which is a travesty. He's having the best season of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to the NL. Oh, the amount of foolishness the NL pulled getting their All-Stars. How does Lindor get in? Ellie had better stats than Lindor. How Trey Turner's not in? I'm sorry. I wish Lindor would pull out of the All-Star game so you could give Ellie De La Cruz that.
Mm-hmm.
How does who was it in the outfit? Corbin Carroll got in and he missed 2 weeks.
I was going to say he missed time.
Yeah. So make that make sense. How does a guy that misses 2 weeks get into the All-Star game? Well, I'll explain to you how. It's fan vote, which needs to be abolished. They need to go away with fan voting. It was the most joke thing they could have done to begin with. It should be voted on by the media.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And the players and coaches. Like it is in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
And every other sport, other than the NBA. And I also have to rant about this. The umpiring has gotten worse.
Oh, I got a note about the All-Star game too. Go everybody about your rant about the umpires.
Go ahead with your note about the All-Star game first.
They're going to try the automatic strike zone in the All-Star game. I read an article today. So they're going to be doing the automatic strike zone in the All-Star game to see how it will work at the pro level. So
good.
We might see some fireworks at the All-Star game. So yep, be ready.
Yay. No, but the umpiring has just gotten it's worse since the last time we talked about it.
Yeah, which is that's bad to say that, but yeah.
No, and What do you expect from these managers that see, oh, like I was watching a game the other day. I think it's the Rays. And I think Shane Baz was on the mound and he had been pitching well and he got into like the 6th inning. And then all of a sudden, the pitches that were called strikes early in the game, all of a sudden that strike zone starts to shrink.
Mm-hmm.
And he was double in the corners of the zone, and all of a sudden 6th, 7th inning, oh no, that's a ball.
Yeah.
So how do you go from the first 4 innings of the game, the first 5 innings of the game? How is that a strike? That's a strike. But then you get to the 6th, 7th inning. Oh no, all of a sudden it's a ball. How is that?
That's time for the automatic strike zone.
And then these hideous calls on the bases from the umpires. Like obstruction. Do we need to look up the definition of obstruction? Because the last 2 weeks, I have seen more obstruction calls called during the season than I've ever seen called.
Yeah.
And obstruction.
Yeah, something needs
ladies
to
and
change
gentlemen.
in umpiring.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what obstruction is, it is when you're blocking either the baseline or you're blocking the base and not letting the runner slide. And that rule was put in place because of Chase Utley cleating people, and same with Josh Donaldson. Those were the two main culprits of why that rule was implemented.
Mm-hmm.
But ladies, before we hop off, Bradley, tell them about your show tonight.
Yeah, we'll be on at 8 o'clock. We're going to have LPGA star Nicole Felice on, do an interview. As I do on my show, I don't handcuff my guests to 15 minutes, so we'll go as far as that. I do have other things we can talk about if it doesn't go the whole show. But Alec will be on, the crew, the 4 will be on again. We'll ask her about her latest. She got to play in her first LPGA Tour event. Talk about that with her. So looking forward to that. I've got to play golf with her, so she's very good. That's all I'm going to say about that. So she's very good. So, but yeah, 8 o'clock in about an hour from now, we'll be on. Mm-hmm.
And I believe for the best duo, sports podcasting duo on YouTube, we are signing off. We will see everybody, let's say Thursday, because that's when the MLB season starts back.
Okay. Oh, that's right. The All-Star break is. Yeah, that's right. Correct. Okay.
Yeah. So no podcast on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Bradley and I will be back with the P&W show on Thursday. I will still have videos, however, Tuesday and Wednesday on other stuff non-baseball related. And as you also know, it is almost college football season. This will be your home for all your college football between Bradley and I, as I do run my other podcast for college football, but that'll be on the days that we don't have the P&W podcast. But for Bradley and I, like we are signing off, we will see you with more P&W episodes on next Thursday.
Good night, guys.